Hello guys, and I'm Paulie, where I talk about movies, games, and more, but mostly movies. And today I want to talk about old school versus new school stuff. What do I mean by that? Well, basically I mean by old school that stuff has already been done, like this title refers to, From Dusk Till Dawn the movie, versus the new school stuff that's been released in 2014, From Dusk Till Dawn the series. Now I want to see which one holds up better and which one deserves more of a watch. Now to give my personal opinions, both of them deserve a great like you should invest your time in watching both of these things. But I'm going to be giving my personal thoughts on which one is better in my opinion. So without further ado, here's my new episodic version of old school versus new school from dusk till dawn.
It's a dark night, dark night. It's a dark night.
Now, as I do the old school of From Dusk Till Dawn, the movie, and the new school From Dusk Till Dawn, the series, I'm also going to be pointing out the similarities and the differences between the two. I'm also going to be pointing out which one has the better story, which one has the better characters, in my opinion, even though they're almost the exact same thing. But remember, each performer from these actors give it a different style and taste to it. And that's what builds up the atmosphere, which is the other point I'm going to also build up. Does it hold up like the original, or does it have its new take on it? Well, that's what I'm going to be pointing out. With first, the story. So the story basically follows the same thing. You got the Gecko brothers, Seth and Richie Gecko, who robbed a bank previously, and they're trying to lay low from um, Rangers, Texas Rangers, and also they're trying to go to Mexico to meet up with their boss, the one who's told them to rob the bank. And so basically it falls on like a cat and mouse game between the cops and the geckos, but we focus more on the geckos instead of the cops, right? So they go into this motel and take a family as hostage. The Fuller family is hostage, and they go their way through the Mexican border. Yes, this is kind of spoilers, but then again, why are you clicking on this video if you haven't seen it? But let me just get back to it. So they go across the border, and then afterwards they head to the best bar I guess Mexico has ever, or a fake bar or whatever. If it's real, okay, whatever. But they enter the Twitty Twister. I think I said that very weird, so let me rephrase that. The Titty Twister. No, that pretty much sums it up. That's a weird name for a bar. But hey, this show is kind of weird and the movie is kind of weird in a way, but it has a nice style to it, which I like from collaboration Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino. Thank you guys for making this, or else this wouldn't had a cult following like it does right now. So the brothers enter this without knowing that this Titty Twister bar is actually full and run by vampires, and they have to survive, you guessed it, if you're reading the title and know the movie and show, From Dusk Till Dawn. And do they survive? Well, watch the movie and the show in order to know. But first, if you're going to watch the show and the movie, watch the movie first and then watch the show, because there's going to be similarities and differences that you guys have to point out. And I already pointed them out. I didn't do a full-on review of it, but I'm just going to do an old school versus new school. So let me just talk about the story, basically, which I already said I was going to do. So it's got the same story. There's nothing really much different about it, except when it comes to background stories. Now, this is something that the movie left out, which made me curious, and I'm not sure if it left any plot holes, which I'm pretty sure both of them kind of do in their own little way. But I wanted to know how the brothers robbed the bank. How how did they come across their boss? Like, I want to know how this happened. What's the setup? Because the first thing the movie introduced is a bank. No, sorry, not a bank robbery. They went into a liquor store and hold two girls there hostage, and that's the same way the show kind of begins. It begins like that as well. So I wanted to know the backstory of the Gecko brothers, the Fuller family, and also the main antagonist of the first season, Satanical Pandemonium. Well, she was a minor antagonist, but she was the antagonist of the film, uh, like a secondary or at least a major antagonist of the film. So I wanted to know the backstory of those. I wanted to know what happened to these characters before, instead of just like first scene. There's they took a hostage, two girls hostages. I was like, whoa, okay, that's intriguing to watch, but I want to know how this came. And the show explained that, where the movie did not. So I was really happy to see how they developed the backstories to this in the show, and it also, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. If you kind of think about it, it's the same thing. If you watch the show, it has a little bit of differences. So in the movie, they're called vampires, but in the TV show, they're known as culebras, which means serpents, like snakes. So they're kind of a snake slash vampire hybrid, which I found very cool because it's a different take on the vampire, and it also touches a little bit of Mesoamerican mythology, which I think is something that Robert Rodriguez likes to touch upon when it comes to like this TV series, because you always see this culture, or the culture in the show always pop up again and again, which I like. So basically, from those points, the movie had a very simple plot, so is the TV series. But the TV series gives us more in depth of what these characters went through, why they are how they are, like why they are. No, why they are what they are. Sorry, I'm kind of rambling on here, but I'm just trying to get like more in depth, which is what the TV series does. So either From Dusk Till Dawn, story wise, From Dusk Till Dawn, the series proved more better for me. Now the characters, each performer gave it a different take on it. For the one who plays Seth Gecko, George Clooney or DJ Controna, both of them gave it really good. But one thing that kind of made me just a little bit annoyed at times, not all the time, but I can see you're trying to impersonate George Clooney, DJ Controna. I know from the first season. Then he takes his own then he takes Seth Gecko to a whole new level, and then creates and has his own character in a way, instead of boring off from George Clooney's character in the movie. But which one portrayed it better? Well, I liked both of their cocky attitudes in the series and the movie. I liked the way how they were quick on their feet, how they stand out to be the leaders in the movie and the show, and it really proves through their good motivations, and just the way they can really intrigue you. Like they, oh my god, I don't know what they are, but like they just got that charm, and they also are a bit psychotic in their own little ways, and that's what I like about it. But which one do I think did it better? You know, it's really hard to choose, but I don't know if you're gonna hate me for this if you guys watch the show or movie, but I kind of have to go for George Clooney's performance as Seth Gecko. DJ Catrona, don't get me wrong, is a good actor, and he did a very good job with Seth Gecko in the TV series. But George Clooney killed it, man. He gave a great performance, and this has got to be one of his best performances back in 1990s. This movie came out in 1996, and I still can't believe how good his acting was, especially when he delivers the line. Everyone knows this line. Here, I'll even pick the clip to even show you, man. This is really good. Like, I'm just going to show you a clip of how good his acting is. I really like it. Here's the beginning intro. Well, after the whole liquor robbery, this is his take. This is George Clooney acting. Here you go.
What did I tell you? What did I say to you? I said buy the roadmap and leave.
What the fuck am I supposed to do, Seth? Recognize
He
this.
didn't recognize shit.
Seth, I'm telling you, the way he looked at us, you especially, I knew he knew.
Low profile. You understand the meaning of the words low profile?
Hey, Richie, how's your hand? It hurts like a fucking son
Let
of
me
a
tell
bitch,
you what
Seth.
low
Thanks for
profile is
asking.
not.
So after that footage, I'm guessing that you like him or you like DJ Catrona better. For my personal opinion, it's hard to choose, and I already said it. I have to pick George Clooney. So the point goes to From Dusk Till Dawn, the movie. So that means that's one from the series with the story, and wait. No, I'm not even finished yet. I didn't even talk about Richie Gecko. Okay, who plays a better Richie Gecko? Well, that's kind of easy on my part. Quentin Tarantino he did have his take, but come on, Zane Holtz as Richie Gecko, you couldn't have picked a better, better actor to portray as him. Not only does he look identical to almost Quentin Tarantino's portrayal as Richie Gecko, but man, he does know how to be psychotic and he does know how to be the smart one in this series. Holy, Zane Holtz gave an amazing performance in the show, and I loved him. But my favorite Gecko brother was obviously Seth, the one who was always behind it. But Richie does know how to play smart at times. Not okay, maybe not at times, but most of the time in the series, he knows how to play his part. So Quentin Tarantino did an okay job. I didn't really see anything new, but Zane Holtz gave it away with a great performance in the series, better than the movie character version. So that's, I would have to say, Richie Gecko is better in the TV series From Dusk Till Dawn. When it comes to Santanico Pandemonium, she didn't really have much of a big role in the movie, only the table dance scene. But in the TV series, we get to have like a better understanding of her character and why she was the way she was in the movie. It's because she had a rough history with the people who have turned her into a vampire, or in the case in the TV series, a culebra. And you kind of feel for her character, even though she does really horrible things. But you kind of sympathize for her because she just wants to be free from actually being the queen, even though she doesn't want to be a queen. In the movie, she's just a straight up killer vampire, and you don't know much of her because there's only little screen time. This develops a vast historic part for Santanico Pandemonium. I liked her character in the TV series better than the movie. So the movie, no. TV series, yeah. So Santanico Pandemonium is better in From Dusk Till Dawn, this series. So when it comes to who else? Oh, one of my personal favorites, and I'm guessing it's one of your personal favorites too. Sex Machine. Sex Machine, Tom Savini, or I forgot his name. Jake Busey. Jake Busey. It's really hard because they gave it their own take. Tom Savini, well, from an interview, he said he played him the way he played him, and Jake Busey admired the way Tom Savini played as he admired the way he played as Sex Machine, and he also took a little bit of that route, like to go for that route, but to take his own take, make him a little goofy, make him a little weird. If you watch the series, it's like a little sexual predator. Not even a little. He kind of is a sexual predator for like young women or whatever. But it gives a different take, and it also gives an historic background for not historic, but like it gives him a background story that the movie did not explain. He was just a barber known as he was just at the bar known as Sex Machine. That's all he said in the movie. Like when he was first introduced to Kate Fuller, he's like, "Who are you?" "Sex Machine. Nice to meet you." And that's all he said. And then after he had a few funny lines. Like one of my favorite lines was like when they were killing everyone inside the bar, and then afterwards he just turns around and he just looks at the band. He's like, "Now let's go kill that fucking band." He laughed my ass off. He gave a great performance. When it also came to Jake Busey, he also gave a great performance. I can't really choose between them. They give their own right to Sex Machine, so I'm gonna have to call it a tie. From Dusk Till Dawn, the movie and the series gave a great Sex Machine. There's a lot of characters I want to touch upon. Who plays a better Jacob Fuller, the pastor? Is it Robert Patrick? Or is it, I forgot I'm so bad with these names. Harvey Keitel? I think he was also in Reservoir Dogs. That's all I know because he was in Reservoir Dogs. And I have yet to watch it, and that really is disappointing. But who gave a better performance for Jacob Fuller? Both of them in their own ways, actually. I mean, who would I like to see more on screen? Uh, I would have to say Robert Patrick. I don't know. There's just something about him. I guess because after watching Terminator 2 Judgment Day, like a T-1000, I just he was a good casting for Jacob Fuller. I really see him playing as Jacob Fuller, and I really see him go through the things that he goes through the series. I really believe it. We don't know much about the Jacob Fuller in the movie because they don't really explain it. He's just a pastor, the father, the Kate, and Scott, and that's basically it. They're taking a family trip to Mexico before they take hostage by the geckos, go to the bar and fight off the vampires. And the TV series is the exact same thing. But Harvey Keitel also gave a great performance with his. He gave it his all, and it was really believable. Both of them were very believable. You know, when I come to think of it, it's actually kind of hard to choose between the movie and the TV series between these characters because they're basically the same characters, but each of them give it their own take on it, and is what I really look forward to when it comes to stuff that's been done, and then what they can do new with them, like the TV series. So I have no idea who to give it to. Uh, I did like Harvey Keitel playing as Jacob Fuller. I did absolutely love Robert Patrick playing as him. So I'm just gonna have to give it to Robert Patrick. So point goes to the From Dusk Till Dawn the series when it comes to characters. I'm sorry, I just have to give the characters from Dusk Till Dawn the series. So that's right now 2-0. Atmosphere, it both builds up. You know, when I come to think of it, it's really hard to give the points now. I mean, because without the movie, they couldn't do the TV series, and you can't say it can't work the other way. Well, actually, you can't say it because there would be no TV series. Or maybe Robert Rodriguez would have thought of it before doing a collaboration with Tarantino, but the original is the original, and the TV series is the TV series. So it's kind of hard to choose between them. What I could say the TV series did better than the movie when it came to characters was the chemistry between the brothers, Seth Gecko and Richie Gecko. DJ Catrona and Zane Holtz have perfect chemistry bouncing off each other. I can really believe that they're actual criminal brothers, that they care for each other, they love each other. I can actually see them go through hell, and I can believe it. On the other hand, when it comes to From Dusk Till Dawn, the movie, I can believe it, but it's not as believable as the series. If you watch a series, you can actually see it. You can see that they really care for each other. They, oh my god, I don't even know how to really explain it, but it's just that they got perfect chemistry. All in all, again, great casting for the series. I really, really enjoy it for what it was. I really enjoy it, and I hope they really do make a season 4 because they stopped after 3 seasons. So I really hope they make a season 4. And atmosphere built up the same way. The way it's shot, Robert Rodriguez style, B movie style in a way. In the TV series, oh my god, it's good. Both of them are bloody. Both of them are good in storytelling. Some may find the TV series a little bit too predictable and a little cliche, but then again, it's because of the movies, right? At least it's not like the 2 sequels or prequels or whatever they were, like Texas Blood Money or The Hangman's Daughter. At least it wasn't those films. And if you find those as guilty pleasures, well, you find them as guilty pleasures. But I don't know. When it comes to new and old, throughout this entire video, I'm just gonna really have to give it to New School from Dusk Till Dawn series. It had more of an impact than me than the movie. The movie I remember watching as a kid, but it did not. It does still hold up till today. I'll tell you that. It still does hold up, and I think, and I will recommend it for you guys to watch it. But before you even do watch the series, even if you want to check it out or not, it's entirely up to you. Do check out the movie first, and then watch the series. So I think that's all I have to really say for the old school versus new school from Dusk Till Dawn edition. And I have no idea what else to say because I'm really running out of thoughts right now, and I have to pretty much go, which is my time. So thank you guys for enjoying, or do hit the like button if you enjoyed this old school versus new school from Dusk Till Dawn, and be sure to let me know in the comment down which one you found better. Was it the movie or was it the TV series? And I would like your honest, blunt opinion. And if you have anything to say about my opinions, you can do so. I would like to see your opinions on my opinions. It's kind of weird to say it like that. But either way, thank you guys. I'm Paulie, where I talk about movies, games, and more, but mostly movies. And I will see you guys later.